folks, ILene Vick here for Teaching Adult Coloring with ILene Vick. It is Friday, July 30th at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, and I am live and I am ready to get my coloring on. Welcome, welcome, welcome to everybody that's popping in. So good to see everybody. I'm so glad you can make it. I always have a good time chatting it up with you guys. So welcome to my Facebook peeps who come in and chat, and we have lots of fun. And welcome to my Facebook lurkers who watch. Enjoy, guys. Sit back and enjoy. That's why I'm here. And welcome to my YouTube peeps who watch my YouTube. So glad to see everybody. Alrighty. So I've got a couple of projects on that I'm doing tonight. Excuse my fingers while I get situated here. I think you'll be enjoying what I'm doing. I'm going to do grayscale, and I'm also going to continue working on my line art. Alrighty. Hey Mary, how are you? Good to see ya. So the book I'm working on is Johanna Basford, Enchanted Forest, and this other that I'll be working on is my Adorable Animals Grayscale coloring book, and that is by Jane Maday. So we'll have a good time. Mary, good to see ya. Hopefully the day's been treating you well. Zoom in. Zoom out. Zoom out. Okay, camera's in good shape. I'm gonna get you moved around just a tad. All right. Yeah, we haven't had anything in storms yet today, so I think we're doing okay. Alright, I'm going to do a little bit of more coloring on my Johanna Basford because I want to show you a couple things with that tree. And then I'm going to pop over to my grayscale. That'll be fun. Alright, so what I like to do, as you all know, is I like to add detail to my pages. And I want to go ahead and do that with my trees. So what I'm doing is I'm simply taking my black pen and adding my texture to the trees. Now, for those of you that are new, I don't want to... Hi, Dorothy. Hello, Melissa. For those of you that are new, don't panic about drawing in your books. Good to see everybody. Good to see you, Dorothy. So I'm simply going ahead and drawing in the texture lines on the tree because I think it looks so much better. Zoom in. Zoom in. And you can be very creative with this. Nature is very, very forgiving. So is there anybody that's watching that has any qualms about marking in their books? All right, so let's get some lines all the way up to there. Zoom in. Zoom in. And what I always tell you is you just need to make sure that your line weight of your pen matches the line weight of the image. Dorothy, you've drawn in your books, haven't you? No. Good. Glad to hear it. I'm going to go ahead and draw in a little knot here. Very, very straightforward. Hello, Rhonda. So let me get a few more of these lines drawn in. And I think our tree is looking a lot more interesting. I love it. Okay, now on this tree, Johanna went ahead and did a bunch of dots. So I am inclined to just run some parallel lines to them. I just think it would look neat. See how I'm doing that, guys? It's fantasy. Hello, Sarah. And this is where you can have the absolute most fun with your sketching and drawing in your books. See how these added 2 lines now are making this tree, I think, a lot more interesting. Okay? Now, I'm going to add a couple more dots here and then go ahead and add my solid lines. See how I'm doing that? Isn't that cool? If you have something in a book that an author did that you really like, and for me right now it's these dots, go ahead and run with it. Okay, and now I'm going to take this on the bottom. There you go. I think we have a much more interesting tree. Now, the other thing that I want to do, let me move you over here, is Johanna Basford has a lot of leaves that she just went ahead and drew the leaf and did a little bit of a base into it. And again, if you want to extend that, please do. See how I'm doing that on this one? I really think it makes things look a lot more interesting. You just have to make sure that you let that thoroughly dry. Okay. Zoom in. Guys, please don't be afraid of your books, okay? They're absolutely here for you to enjoy and to make yours. Okay. Now, these leaves have been really bugging me here in this little tree over here. And I'm thinking that I want to go ahead and add a little bit more decoration. Everybody see this? I just think it looks so much better. And all that I'm doing is just adding extra dots. And guys, you're going to find when you're doing something like this that you're going to pick up the theme of the whole piece, and you'll start doing your own thing in them. If something looks plain to you, fix it and then color it. Okay, much better. Zoom out. Okay, and now I've got, look at this, I've got leaves that there's like nothing in the center. So let's go ahead and take 2 seconds and add that center line. Anybody have any thoughts about what I'm doing? Like it, don't like it, won't take the time, will take the time. This is Enchanted Forest. Zoom out. And what you're going to find, guys, is that as you're doing this stuff, your piece is going to pop because you'll start seeing things that you didn't see before. Now, I've got a couple of rocks on here. So I'm going to go ahead and add some lines to that as well. Zoom in, zoom in, zoom in. Well, that's good, Dorothy. You got the book? Yeah, look it up. Okay, now on this particular set here, I'm just going to go ahead and add dots down the center. Hi, Angela. Angela Johnson Campbell. Jojo invited you. Okay, Amy. Thanks for letting me know that you can't stay. Angela, where are you from? Okay, so let's go ahead and add a few more of these lines. Coonbrook, Victoria, Australia. Wonderful. And Angela, how much have you been coloring? Are you new to coloring? Have you been coloring for a while? Are you here just to enjoy the companionship? Okay, now notice I'm just going ahead and adding a little V to these leaves. And Angela, we absolutely encourage you, if you have questions or comments or just want to say hello. So you're living on a farm, fairly isolated, been coloring for a few years and still learning. Oh my gosh, wonderful. Okay, well, just several things to tell you. I'm live every night, 365 days of the year. Don't be shy about commenting while I'm chatting. That's why I'm live. Ask questions. If you have something to offer people. So in other words, don't be shy, okay? You're an Aussie. Don't be shy. Zoom out. Now tell me, zoom out. Zoom out. Doesn't that look a ton better with all the little additions that I've been putting in here? And Angela, all of these go to video afterwards on Facebook. So if you miss the broadcast, you can catch it and watch it after the fact. Oh, you've been an Aussie since '74. Learning all the time like a sponge. You were born in England 73 years ago, been an Aussie since. There you go. Well, nice to meet you, mate. Zoom in. So sit back, enjoy. A lot of people color while they're watching. Zoom in. Okay, so let's catch these leaves here that are on the tree. Da, 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 da. And Angela, if you know people that are isolated or have depression issues, invite them to the channel, even if they just want to watch, even if they don't color. Okay? And if you ever need prayer about anything, we do that here as well. Zoom out. So Angela says, watched a couple of yours, saw your interview with Claire yesterday. Yes. Isn't Claire a sweetheart? And the one you did on flower middle gems. Uh-huh. Okay, so you know all of that. All right. Oh my gosh, guys, much better. Look at that. That tree that just had the dots now has the spirals. Ah. Okay, so let me move over. So Angela, you already know that I have a wonky personality, right? Not depressed, good. Have a husband here too. You've got medical issues. Arthritis is very painful. Oh, I'm so sorry. Prayers are always appreciated. All right, let's do it. Lord God, in the holy name of Jesus Christ, I ask you for your blessing and your healing and your anointing of Angela Johnson Campbell. Lord God, you know her medical issues. She's got her arthritis, and we are asking you in our collective presence here that you will work with her and help her through these issues. Lord God, we thank you so much for meeting with us when we meet here for coloring. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to be here for people. Lord God, please help Angela. We're welcoming her into this family, and we ask you that you surround her with healing. In the holy name of Jesus Christ, amen. All right, Angela, you are now officially prayed over. Da-da-dum. Zoom in. Okay, so I'm adding a few lines here up the center. Angela, you're welcome. Oh, okay, you haven't thought of much about adding to pictures? Oh, you need to really watch the picture of the medium that I did. We added a lot. Zoom out. Let's see here. What time is it in Australia?
In Canberra, Australia, it's 10:32 a.m.
Okay, so it's 10:30 in the morning, Angela. Good. Angela, what's your husband's name? Okay. I'm happy with these additions here. So let's continue to play with this a little bit, and then I am going to ILene. Okay, ILene and Angela. Gotcha. We'll tell ILene we're saying hello to him as well. Zoom out. Okay, I'm thinking that this looks a lot better now with all of our little additions here. Don't be afraid, okay, to add to your pieces. So I'm going to do a little bit more on this tree, and then I'm going to pop over to a grayscale project. That should make Rhonda happy. Now Rhonda, don't get too hung up on grayscale, okay? So Angela, how long have you and Alan been married? Or been together, whatever the case may be. So what I've been doing on this tree is I've been mirroring the coloring. Okay, Terry and Sarah Thacker. I'm sorry, Sarah, I don't understand. Oh, Angela said that he heard you. Thank you. He's sitting at the table reading. Hi, Alan. Alan, what you're reading? Is it something interesting? Ashley says, I need an idea for white on grayscale, like for makeup on a lady. Bright white. Okay, is this a coloring that you're doing, Ashley? Zoom in. So let me go ahead and do a couple of these leaves for you. Remember, I'm doing a mirror here. It's for like Day of the Dead, how they have the white face paint on. Okay, what I would do is I would use a white chalk. So do your coloring and then go over it with the white chalk, like I did with the crystal ball. Oh, that's wonderful. Sarah's been married 15 years and together 18 years. Excellent. So Ashley, you saw how I did the crystal ball, right? Stirring a pot of pea and ham soup. Sounds good. In between coloring in Johanna Basford's World of Wonders. Good. Gotcha. Well, Angela, you really need to watch the last few episodes, the previous days of doing the Mystic. And you'll see how I add bling to things. And that was an unusual case because I normally don't add that much bling. But that picture called for it. And I do additions all the time. Zoom in. Zoom out. Angela, I use a wide variety of pencils, so I don't really pick out individual brands or call them out. I think I've got like 17 brands now. And what I'm doing on this tree, Angela, is whatever I do on one side, I'm doing on the other. In other words, I'm mirroring the color. And that's because Johanna Basford, when she did this tree, she mirrored the image. So they're identical on either side. So that's what I'm doing with this particular coloring. And what I like to do, Angela, is call things out like this. I like to put in subtle coloring. Oh, you have more than 30 brands. Oh, you go, girl. So what's going to happen, folks, is as I'm doing this tree, you're going to subtly notice the symmetry on it. And that's the whole point. Zoom in. Zoom in. And you guys know that I'm all about detail. And that's why I tell you, if you get bored with something that you're coloring, move to something else, okay? Zoom out. Now, are you guys starting to see how cool this is looking? All right, let's see here. Angela says, my husband keeps saying, I have enough pencils, I just smile and buy more anyway. Gotta enjoy life now, can't take it with you. Someone said there are awesome colors in heaven. I wonder if they got art supplies up there. Oh yeah. Well, Angela, like I said, take the time to look at the last, I don't know, 5 broadcasts maybe with the Mystic. Like I said, that's unusual that I would add that much in embellishments, because I'm always warning against getting, you know, stupid with embellishments. Okay. Okay, so let's work on this little guy here. Oh yeah, stickles and glitter glue on the stars. Yep. Well, Angela, the key is though that you don't want to go overboard with the additions. They absolutely need to look like they belong. And remember guys, when you're coloring, I always advocate that you use different shades of the same color. So I'm not saying the same pencil. What I'm saying is if you're going to use green, use 2 to 3 of your colors. Oh, is this pretty? Okay, just a few more leaves. So I particularly want you to notice that I am using at least 2 shades of green on these leaves. And even if they are close, your eye may not see the variance, but your brain is. Okay, let's see what we got here. So Rhonda says, ILene, Dawn's book isn't grayscale, is it? I'm just doing a grayscale from Whimsical Art. I just like the picture. I'll be getting Dawn's book tomorrow. Okay. Yeah, no, it's not grayscale. It's line art. But she uses line art to create shading. And if you look at the beginning of Dawn's book, she explains the difference between line art and grayscale. Zoom out. Okay, and I want you guys now, look at the leaves on this tree. Everything is symmetrical, okay? And the neat thing is, it isn't obvious right away. That's the fun part. And what this does, by doing it this way, is it creates a cohesiveness within the object itself, which is the tree, and the rest of the picture of the things that are in green. Angela says she's coloring leaves now on the first couple of pages. Wow. Okay, Angela, do me a favor. Instead of saying wow, just say Worlds of Wonder, because people don't know. Using my tray of shorts from different brands, trying to cream. Okay. And the 3 greens. Okay. Hello, Dawn. Welcome, Dawn. Dawn and I have a date, August 3rd, that we are going to be doing a duet coloring, which is a side-by-side. That's right, Compass Roses is line art. I was just explaining that, Dawn. And what Dawn has done in her books is she uses the proximity of the lines either closer or farther apart to create that look. And if you guys look in the beginning of her book, she's got a beautiful explanation. Want me to join and you can see the mess? Excuse me. Do you want to join right now? Oh, you're at the farm? Okay, Dawn, give me a second and you can explain our duet coloring on the 3rd. Give me a minute. Okay, we are so close to this tree being done. Okay, Dawn, go ahead. Oh, Jim is sick and in bed, so I'm in the garage playing around with your furniture. Okay. I'm sorry to hear he's sick. Do you want to wait then before you join or what? Up to you. He will live. Okay.
Hey!
Hey, Dawn, how are you?
All right. It's been a interesting sort of couple of last days.
Yeah, what's been going on?
Well, you know, my partner in crime for the renovations got sick. He thought he had strep throat or the flu or something last night. He got up this morning and he went to work sick as a dog because he had to get something done. And then he came home, and then I asked him, I said, do you want to stay home for the weekend, or do you want to go to the farm? Because I could drive. And he said, you drive, I'll go with you. So he slept all the way down. But you're looking at the inside of my garage where I'm working on all kinds of renovation projects. And right here, I'm taking an old desk. It's upside down right now, but I'm doing a process to it called serusing, serusing, I believe. And that's where you put a primary color down and then sand it and then put stain on top and then wipe it off. And where you've sanded it and the wood ridges come through, get that sanded so it looks like a grayish, whitish, whitewashed sort of thing. So I'm working on that for that. So this is my little corner back here that I'm doing all my woodwork and furniture upcycling in. It's a very tight corner in a 960 square foot garage, but all the rest of it's filled up with boxes and tools and everything else. I did get my cabinets up. Look there.
Good. Good. Okay, so just to introduce Dawn, she is the author of a ton of coloring books. She and I are doing a duet coloring on the 3rd out of her book called Compass Roses, Roses. And we are excited to have her doing this. She is also a moderator of my group, so we love to have her doing that. And Dawn, you've seen all the members now that have been piling into the group. We've got over, yep. So we're getting there. We're growing pretty quick. But yeah, do you want to tell everybody that is new potentially the difference between grayscale and line art?
I'd be happy to do that. A lot of people get confused thinking that line art that has got shading to it is grayscale. Grayscale theoretically or logistically is when somebody's taken a photograph of something and subtracted all the color from it. So some artists that are out there putting coloring books out there will have like the Victorian women or cars or something like that, where they've actually taken a photograph and they've manipulated it in Photoshop or some other type of software program to sort of eliminate the color, but still leave most of the lines behind and the shading that is still there in the picture. Line art is where you just take a pen or a pencil and you draw lines, but when you're creating shading, you may use different techniques like stippling, which is little dots up and down with your pen or pencil to create darker areas, or they could use lines that are cross-hatched. And cross-hatched is just like you do a tic-tac-toe. You draw them one way, then you draw them another way. And the cross-hatching also creates shading. So while some people think that's grayscale art, it's actually line art. So all the coloring books that I have out, the majority of them are line art, but there are some that are photographs that I've taken and converted to grayscale. So I have a lot of series of books from Williamsburg, and in the old colonial city in Williamsburg, Virginia, and so those are photographs that are considered grayscale for people to go in and color.
Okay, and I'm showing your book right now, which is, obviously you can see it, duh. The Big Kids Coloring Book, Tasty Tea for You and Me. And let me get the glare off of it. And let me find, okay, explain why this isn't grayscale.
Yeah, that one's actually a combination of line art and grayscale. So the bamboo art in the background is line art. The veins to the leaves are line art, but then I've added solid shading behind the veins of the leaves, which actually is grayscale. So that's actually a cross between the two.
Okay, let me find one that's just all, let's see here.
There's not any grayscale per se that is in that book. That's the same one. It's like the line art on top of this shading, the grayscale.
Right. So basically, grayscale is confined to pictures, pretty much.
Pretty much.
Okay, keep talking because I got to find my compass roses.
Oh, okay.
Okay, Angela, it is Dawn Denise Boyer, but just look for Big Kids Coloring Book. And Angela, if you look in our affiliate list, a ton of her books are in our affiliate list. So go ahead and keep chatting, Dawn. Let me find Compass Roses.
Well, it's interesting that you put the tasty tea up. I was watching a YouTube video the other day with this woman who had been talking to a friend of hers who had a fig tree in her yard. And her friend said, oh, I don't know if you knew this or not, but you can make tea out of fig leaves. And the lady on the YouTube was, what? So she says, how do you do that? And the first lady said, well, you just take the leaves off the fig plant, the fig tree, you dehydrate them, and then when you want a cup of tea, just crunch the leaves, the fig leaves into a cup, add some hot water, and you can drink it just like tea. And when I saw that, I went, get out, really? I had no idea that you could do that. So my sister has a fig tree. So I ran over there a couple of weeks ago and off of her little trees and put them in a dehydrator that she let me borrow, which she'll never get back. And so the next day, the leaves were all crispy, and I just crunched them up and put them in a jar, and I thought, okay, I've got to try it. So I put a couple of leaves in an infuser and poured the hot water over it, and about 5 minutes later went back and tasted it. and it tastes just like real tea leaves. Now the lady on YouTube actually said that her leaves had this little tint of fig to it. Of course, I'm older; my taste buds are going to pot, so I didn't really taste the fig in the leaves. But I swear to God, it was just like I was tasting a regular cup of tea, and I'm like, I may never go back to buy another box of Lipton tea in my life, as long as I have a fig
There you go.
in the front yard.
Okay, so this is an example of what somebody may consider as grayscale. Let's explain why this one is not grayscale.
Yeah, that's line art.
Right. And the reason it's line art is because why?
Because of the methodology that I've used to put the shading in. Can you zoom in a little bit on one of the flowers at the bottom?
Yeah, let's see if I can do that.
Okay, there
we go.
So if you'll see, there's a whole bunch of little teeny tiny dots there. Not the circles, but the actual dots that are in the crease of the lines going from the inside to the outside. Yeah, right where you're pointing.
Right there.
Right. So those indicate shading of the leaf or the flower towards the middle where the sun or the light source wouldn't get to it. Oops. I see your ceiling.
Yeah, I know. I do that every once in a while. Hold on. There we go.
So.
Okay, now. Yeah, go ahead.
So that was the use of stippling and crosshatching as a methodology of creating the line art.
Right, and you've done the same thing, for example, with this cougar, and
now those are grayscale because they're
and these grayscale,
yes,
exactly. They're photographs,
right,
that are definitely showing the difference between the light portion, the medium, and then the dark. This is grayscale.
Right.
And so Dawn was talking about earlier that people are using a hybrid of grayscale and calling their books grayscale, and technically speaking, they're not. Grayscale is a photography, it's a photographic image that shows the dark and light of the picture. Is that clear to everybody?
Yeah.
So that's the difference, and that's what I want everybody to understand.
Now, shoot, well, I forgot his first name. Mr. Haney with the kittens and the cat pictures. Jeff Haney.
Jeff Haney. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Now he actually has full color paintings that he has painted, and I don't know if he uses what medium. It could be oil, acrylic, or gouache, or whatever it is he uses. And what he does is he takes a scan of those full scale paintings, and then he turns them into grayscale books. So his grayscale books are, that's what they are. They're grayscales of his original paintings.
Correct. Right. So it's still a photograph per se, but it's a copy of the pictures that he paints, and that's what Ruth Sanderson does as well.
Right.
So those are grayscale.
Yeah.
But the way that Dawn explains, and I think that this is a good explanation. I've read it before, and I really need to post it into my announcements. But she says that folks may unintentionally describe the artwork in this book as grayscale, but that would not be correct. True grayscale coloring books take photographs or drawings and illustrations that are already in color. That's the key, already in color. Then washes the color to leave behind the gray tones in the shading and highlights, which the coloring hobbyist would add back with colors of their choices. So grayscale, and grayscale can be also black and white pictures, like the old style, Old West pictures. So it doesn't have to be a color picture. It can be an old style black and white photograph because they just didn't do color then.
Right, like the old
So
tintypes and the Civil
right.
War
So
pictures of the
then
soldiers and stuff like that. Yeah.
right. So then we go back in and we color it then with our pencils. Now, this is a grayscale image that this was done by Jane Maday, and I'm going to be doing this in a little bit
That is
tonight
cute.
because I want to show you this.
That is
Oh, isn't that
so
ridiculously
cute?
Yeah, yeah. This will be a lot of fun. And Dawn, did you happen to catch any of the broadcasts that I did of that mystic medium?
I don't think I did.
Okay, hold on. I got to show you this here. You'll laugh. Oh,
I've been trying to peek in at least once to every night's broadcast, and I may just like it and then move on or have to go back. Oh, I like how you did the light on that from up on her face.
okay. So you know me that I always go through and I always say, don't overdo with bling, rhinestones and, what doodads and the whole bit. So that's been my mantra since day one. So what do? I do this picture, and this thing is like
And it
covered
works.
in bling.
It works.
And it works. Exactly. So every little round thing here, I mean, these are individual rhinestones that I glued on, plus the stone, and then the little pearl gold things, and her earrings with gold, and it was just really funny. But it does work. And
Now,
these stars of all
one day, I think this was about 2 months ago, you were putting rhinestones or round baubles on the picture, and I said you ought to take a little drop of white gel paint or gel pen and put like a little dot on the edge of each one of those little plastic baubles that you put down, just to create like another highlight, but it's more three-dimensional.
Yep. Lots of ways to do it. But it was just really funny because, like I said, since day one, I always say to my people, my peeps, do not overdo with bling because then it looks stupid. Well, you're right though. This called for it, so I'm like gluing on a bazillion of my little, paste on things. But had a lot of fun with this one, so I just had to show you that one.
Yeah, I did see you working on it, but I didn't see you put all the little bling on it. I have a girlfriend who's in the wedding industry, and she says, you know what happens when I think it doesn't have enough? I add more, and then I add more, and then I add more. So,
yeah, I know it. It's crazy. So I'm going to be doing this grayscale tonight.
Okay.
I'm doing a Johanna Basford right now, and what I'm showing my peeps, this tree was done. I don't know if Johanna uses Procreate or not, but whatever she uses.
I heard.
And what she did is
I think she does Photoshop. She might be using Illustrator too.
Yeah. And what she did is she mirrored the leaves in this tree. You can see the pattern. So what I'm doing, the way I'm coloring it, is if I color this leaf a certain set of greens, I'm coloring this leaf the same thing. So I'm literally doing the side by side of the coloring, and it's making for an interesting effect because it's paralleling the green on either side. So I just wanted to show my peeps that was the way to do it. Another thing is I used a stencil, and I used a method to reduce the size of it and got this image here. This is actually a stencil, and I put this on and colored it in black. So I'm showing people that they can go ahead and use their stencils in silhouette and then go ahead and color their various images.
Yeah.
And in this particular grouping, I did the yellow around the fairy, and everything within inside the fairy regarding the leaves are
lighter colored,
non-traditional colors.
Okay.
Purple, orange, blue. and then everything outside are your normal greens, you know. So
I like that. So
yeah,
the fairy light
yeah.
is changing the leaf colors to fairy colors.
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
did you put the fairy at the bottom too?
Yeah, I put the fairy in at the bottom.
Oh, that is so creative. I love it.
Yeah, this is actually off a full-size stencil, and I have found a way to reduce the image and trace it onto the coloring page and size it to whatever size that I want. So this is, let me show you the stencil.
Okay.
Uh, let's see here. Hold on, gotta find something. Oop, oop, oop. Okay, so this is the actual stencil. Um, let's see, I don't know if you can see how big this is for size. Yeah, there's my eraser, so you can see it's pretty big.
So is it like an 8.5 by 11 plastic sheet?
Roughly,
Okay.
exactly. So this stencil size, this little girl here is 3.5 roughly by 3.
Okay.
So it's pretty big. So I reduced that image down and traced it. I've got an app that I use, and I'm considering having the person that made that app on here. We'll have to figure out a way how he can demonstrate it.
Hey, Tammy.
But basically, I can take any stencil now, reduce it down, and put it onto a page, a coloring page.
I like that.
So I also did that with the birds.
Okay.
So, but yeah, so that's the whole idea on the page, is that the fairy casts her light, and inside the light, as she turns everything fairy colors, and everything outside the light are your standard, you know, greens, browns, et cetera, et cetera.
Yep.
Same thing down here. So that's the theme on this one.
Okay. Somebody just asked in the comments how to look for my books. If you go to Amazon.com and then you put in quotes the words big kids coloring book, and then put my name on the end, most if not all of my coloring books will pop up in the search engine in Amazon. So
correct.
Yeah, you could search for Dawn Boyer, because most of the books that I publish, I think I have just my middle initial instead of my full name. So my full name is Dawn Denise Boyer, but on Amazon I think they only see me as Dawn D Boyer. But I purposefully, all the coloring books that I put out there have the preface title of Big Kids Coloring Book. So, you know, if anybody goes out there and posts a coloring from one of my books out there, it's Big Kid Coloring Book, colon, and then the rest of the title. So it's Big Kids Coloring Book, colon, Compass Roses, for what we're going to be coloring from next Tuesday. And there's possibly in the media files in your group, there could be some pictures from that Compass Rose book already there. So, you know, if you want to test the water with a couple of the pictures first, go look into the group file, and there you should be able to find them. I'm assuming they're still there. I don't think ILene deletes them or anything.
No, I leave them.
Okay, so there should be 2 or 3 or maybe 4 PDF files that you could download to your computer and print out. And Angela, all of my books are in paperback, and the reason for that is back in the day when I first got started, I saw so many artists getting ripped off because they were selling PDFs. And unfortunately, thieves in the Far East, Asia and China would take the PDFs and create books and then put them out there for sale with real artists' work without paying for them. And although I do know that some of the illustrations that I have shared for contests and coloring contests and things of that nature are out there in the wild, and I'm okay with them being passed around and shared because they were for contests. But the whole books that I put out are only available in paperback. And I'm probably cutting off my nose to spite my face for earning any money from them. But it just, gets in my craw thinking that other people are getting the PDFs and then copying them and reselling them, and I'm not earning any money off of it. So,
I don't know. Do you honestly think that that's hurting your sales to not be in a PDF format?
yeah, I don't know. I'm assuming it is. I do have an Etsy shop that I have PDFs in packages of like 5 or 10 for sale for some of the earlier Fairy Houses and Fairy Doors books that I put out. I don't get a lot of sales from those, probably because I really don't market my books. I don't know if everybody who's watching knows, but the artist illustrations and the coloring books and things I do, that's my part-time job. I've got a full-time day job with my own business doing editing and publishing and rewriting resumes for people who are doing job searches. And that's basically my bread and butter money. But the coloring books are coming from my Bachelor of Fine Arts degree and my need to color and be doing things and creating things and letting other people enjoy them.
Yeah. Well, good. Well, listen, I am so glad that you could join us. And you and I need to decide off camera what images we want to color on the Compass Roses.
Okay.
And have you decided on prizes yet?
Oh, yeah, of course. We'll have another choice of either a Compass Rose book or a surprise package. And it's funny. I was helping another group out about a month ago, and there were only just like a few. I think there were 5 contest entries, and I went, oh yeah, okay, I'll just give everybody a prize. Well, 4 of the winners were like out of the country, and it ended up costing me $60 to get down all the prize packages to everybody in England and Canada, and one person in like Kansas City. So, but yeah, we'll have at least one winner, and they can choose between either a copy of the Compass Rose book or a surprise package, which is usually a couple of coloring books with a signed title page and a couple of prints on cardstock with my signature on them.
Cool beans.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, listen, what'd you say?
Helen had just said something, and I agreed with her.
If I put my color special effects books on PDF, I know there are people out there that would print their version. Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yep.
Yeah, I know. It's really awful that you gotta. Oh, it's a huge issue.
Yeah.
So you just gotta go with your heart and go with a hard copy like Helen is and you are, and that's okay.
Yep.
So, but yeah,
I will.
Go ahead.
I'm a bibliophile. I like to hold a book in my hand and just smell the fresh ink on the paper and be able to pick it up whenever I want to without having to have an electronic device to help me look at it. So I'm just one of those old-fashioned people. Ooh, I like her body there that you colored.
Yeah. This is the one that you had done with the different effects with your ink, and we went through, and I did different colors, and then of course did the compass on there. So we had a good time with that. All right, young lady. Well, I am so glad you could make it tonight, and thank you for reminding everybody about the contest.
Okay.
And we'll go ahead and August 3rd is the date on that, and that would be Tuesday. So get your patootie in there, everybody, and let's watch it, and we'll have a lot of fun. And what we do is, for those of you that are new, Dawn and I on split screen color the same image side by side. So we have a lot of fun doing that, and it's just worked out really, really well. All right, Dawn, love you to death, and thank you for everything, and you have a good rest of the evening.
Okie doke. Thanks for letting me in.
All right.
Bye.
Oh, you're welcome. Bye-bye. Okay. So we've got that contest coming up, and we are in good shape. Okay. So I am thinking about switching my images for you. I wanted you to see how this tree is looking. Actually, I don't have too much more to go. So you know what? I'm going to finish this tree. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 more leaves to do, and then you'll be able to see the side-by-side comparison. All right. Okay, guys, trying this again. I got bumped. Then I tried to get on, couldn't get on. So I'm trying it again. We'll see what we can do here. All right. So what I've done is I've gone through and I've done my tree, my mirroring tree, mirroring tree, and it's identical side by side. So what I did on this leaf, I did on that one, did on this one, etc., etc. Zoom in. So what I'll do is I'll go ahead and, oh, Rhonda, there we go. Good grief, you wouldn't believe the trouble I had getting on. Well, actually, I bet you would. It's what, been a half hour now? So I'm glad to be back. I took the time to finish up the tree. And then I'll go ahead and work a little bit on the trunk. And then I'm going to go ahead and go over to my next piece. So I hope you like what I've done. So now I'm going to go ahead and blend, zoom in, my brown into the green where I'd stopped the green. And then we'll get this tree going. So welcome back, everybody. And notice that I'm not using a particularly dark brown, by the way. And again, guys, take your time on the details here. Remember we went through on the tree and I drew in these extra lines. That's going to start looking really cool. Zoom in. And now what you're starting to see is the context of how this tree is going to look. Oops, we've got a leaf here that's missing a center. Hold on. Let's go ahead and get that in there. There we go. And remember guys, I'm tinting in my first layer. We've talked a lot about this before. I'm not coming in heavy with my color. And that's going to allow me, not only does it create my base layer of my pencils, but it allows me to stay fluid with my colors. Okay, zoom out. Zoom out. Now remember, this part here is now the fairy portion. So this is where I'm going to start getting into my what? My fairy colors. So have fun, guys. Let's go with a nice purple. Zoom in. How cool is that? All right. Anybody have any questions or comments about what I'm doing with the colors? Excuse me. Zoom out. Sorry for the camera movement. And remember, I'm going to be coming back in with my shading. So right now I'm just getting my base color in here. And I really hope that you are enjoying how I am coming up with these colors. It's fun. And remember, I came through here earlier and I added these lines on the trees. All right, let me move this around a little bit. Zoom out. So what do you think of that? Zoom out. You can see all the fantasy aspects of this coming into play. Noticed a little bit of yellow spot that I missed here, so let me grab that. There we go. Now that makes more sense. Now, what I would recommend for consistency is going ahead and making this tree purple as well. Zoom in. Rhonda says, so pretty now, much different than when I started. Now remember, this is the tree that I added these black lines on, right? Hey, Sherry. Good to see ya.
I'm not sure I understand.
Sherry, are you moved yet? Zoom in. So the trailer of your stuff was delivered today. I know that you can't make the drive, right? So you're flying next Saturday. Yay! Are you excited? A week from Saturday. Okay. Not this Saturday, but next Saturday. Cool beans. Well, I hope you're going to keep your phone handy so you can check in with us. Oh, that's good. Your daughter is already at the house, the new house, so you already have everything on. Good, 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 good. So everything's ready for you. Excellent. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to carry this purple. I want you to see this. All the way out to the end here. Hello, Harriet, Annie Muir. Harriet, welcome to the group. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I've been having all sorts of broadcasting issues tonight. Normally I start at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Yeah. Harriet, delighted to have you. Where are you from? Okay, now guys, I'm running the purple up this tree because it's still inside of my glow area, and it had an open space here at the bottom. Harriet, feel free to ask any questions anytime. That's why I'm live. Ah, New York, New York. Aha. I'm originally from the Buffalo, New York area. I'm in Cookeville, Tennessee, which is about an hour east of Nashville. Would I put a bit of yellow on the edge of the purple? Not yet. I'm just tinting in my colors right now and coming in very lightly. Whew. But right now, everything that is inside of my glow area is fantasy color because I have a fairy here that I put the glow around. So, Harriet, have you seen any of the videos yet? Everything I do after I'm live goes to video. So you can see the previous coloring with this. Basically, Harriet, I'm just blocking in my colors. Okay. Oh, great. You found me on YouTube in the last 2 days checking it out. Wonderful. Everything that I do here on Facebook then goes up to YouTube eventually. But it's fun when we're live. Okay, so I'm going to go back to this other tree that is now inside of my other glow area. And I'm going to continue with the Fantasy Purple color. And you'll see how cool this is about to look. Yeah, some of my uploads, Harriet, have been not going through, and I don't know why. But everything that I've done previously is also here on Facebook. So you can see the previous ones as well. So in the upper right hand corner, Harriet, of Facebook, in the group, there's a little magnifying glass, and you type in the date. So you would type in 7/28/21 and do a search on that date, and it'll pull up the broadcast. So if you can't see it on YouTube, you can see it here on Facebook. I don't know what the issue is, if it's a YouTube problem or what it is. Okay, so let's take a look at here. Oh man, guys, I can't wait to show you this. Harriet, how long have you been coloring? Okay, zoom out. Look at this, guys. Zoom out. Zoom out. Since 2019, Harriet says, for COVID therapy. Hopefully you made it through all your COVID stuff. Okay, guys, now, remember, all my fantasy colors are now inside of my Fairy Glow bubble. So everything here is fantasy colored. This is realistic on the outside of it. Here it's fantasy as well. And then in between, it's going to be the real colorings of the green and so forth. So you can see now how this is distinguished between the two. Isn't that cool? I need to take a little bit of water. So guys, if you're not seeing the broadcast on YouTube, which is possible. Oh, Harriet says yes, everyone is well. I'm glad you all made it through COVID, okay? And I want you guys to notice that I've made the yellow a little more intense around the fairy itself. And then it's lighter on the outside. Anybody have any questions or comments about what I've done so far? I'm going to switch to switch colorings. I hope you're enjoying this one. And again, this is from Johanna Basford, the Enchanted Forest. And I took a compass and made that circle, made the circle with a compass here, Hi, Rhonda. Wanda, excuse me. I saw Rhonda's name and said hello to Rhonda. Wandy! So this is still a work in progress, and I've been having a lot of fun showing it to you. Again, notice how I made my tree limbs purple inside of the fairy circle. Okay? So you're really starting to see now that change in color. Okay. Zoom out. So I'm going to do a little bit of grayscale coloring now. And this is from Adorable Animals Grayscale Coloring Book, and this is by Jane Maday. Well, Wanda, normally I would say I'm doing great, but I got kicked off, and then had a heck of a time getting back in again. And to anybody that's new, if all of a sudden the broadcast abruptly ends, which happens once in a while, I will be back. Now, tonight, probably not, because I normally end at 10 p.m. Central. All right. So let's get coloring on some grayscale. And again, if anybody has any question that's new, please say something. Guys, this is why I'm live. Harriet, have you colored grayscale? Wanda says, my shoes off and my feet on the cold tile floor doing better. That's cool. All right, let's play with some grayscale. Zoom in. So I'm going to start off with alcohol marker on the face itself. Oh, Christine Karen is wonderful. Harriet, I have done colorings from her as well. Now, I'm deliberately doing a yellowish face on our scarecrow. And remember, when we do marker on grayscale, it's going to tend to bring out the dark and the light of the gray, which is great. And then I'll be going back with colored pencil and doing all my shading and detailing. And remember, for the most part on grayscale you will have dark, medium, light. Now sometimes you just have medium and light. And what you want to do is you want to get a dark, a medium, and light of the color that you're working. Some people think they can just put one color over grayscale and that's it. Sandy, yes, you can use water-based markers on grayscale. Absolutely. Now, the trick to not having streaks on your grayscale with your marker, or on anything with your alcohol-based marker, is taking your time with it. When you go nice and slow, it creates a beautiful coverage. Everybody clear on that? Now, I've got dark, medium, and light on this face, right? But I'm putting down a base color of my light color. I'm starting with light. Some people like to start with the dark on their grayscale. Some people like to start with the light. Now, because I'm using marker, I'm going ahead and I'm starting with my light. And another little thing that I like to do is I like to color, Wanda likes to go light, dark, and then medium, exactly. I like to go, I'll go dark, like I said, dark, and medium, and then my light, because I use my light as a blender. And if you guys want to see some beautiful, drop-dead gorgeous grayscale, check out Wanda's posts. Now, when I'm doing my grayscale, also, sometimes I change the order of what I'm doing. It just depends. Oh, Wanda, you don't need to thank me, but you're welcome. Wanda just finished a piece. I call it the Slave Girl. Beautiful, intricate work on it. Wanda took a lot of time to do the gold on it, for example. And it really, really paid off. Now, the trick to also alcohol-based markers is to let them dry a little bit before you make any corrections or changes to the color being laid down. I'm going to add a little bit of darker color right underneath the nose while I'm here. And this will make sense later on. Oh, Wanda, you deserve those comments. She says, thank you guys. I've had amazing comments on it across several groups. Makes a girl feel good, you know? Yep. Well, Wanda, I hope you tell them where you learned it. Okay, so I'm going just a little bit darker with my same pen. There we go, because we've got those shadows. And I've got a little bit of a shadow right here off of this hairpiece. So I'm going to go ahead and darken that so that shows up. Isn't that cool? And I'm also going to add a little bit of a shadow here. Now the artist didn't put that there, but I'm putting it there because I want that. Everybody see how I'm doing that? Remember, guys, you can always add in addition to what the coloring book artists put on the page. Don't be afraid to do that, okay? All right, zoom out. Let's take a look at this. Now, at the moment, this looks pretty wonky. And I remind you of that because I don't want you to get thrown with colors because you look at this and say, oh my gosh, it's too yellow, too orange, too whatever. No. What you need to look at is not making those determinations until you've colored further because you can tweak after the fact. Okay, so I'm going to leave the face. I like to move around. I'm going to pop into the hat. Now, I'm going to deliberately go with pencil because I want to show you how I do my dark, medium, and light on this. And again, guys, for anybody that's new, if you have any questions or comments, have at it. Okay, so right now I'm just choosing a light, a medium, and a dark. So I like my light and my medium. Give me a moment, please. There we go, light, medium, and dark. Wanda should be very proud. Wanda excels with grayscale, and she's willing to put in the time and the effort. Okay. So I put the face in with alcohol marker, and now I'm going to go ahead and work with it with pencil. So I'm going to go and start with my dark. Zoom in. Zoom in. And this is where on your grayscale you look for your gray that's the darkest part. Now, when you color grayscale like this, I don't want you to color blindly. And what that means is that if you feel that you need to add a shading someplace where it's a little bit darker, do that. Go ahead and do that. I want to remind you that this is your piece. Alright, so let's look for our darkest areas. Anybody have any questions while I'm doing this? Speak up. And what I want to remind you is the grayscale gives you visual cues as to how something should be colored anyway. And this is why I like grayscale, because it's an excellent learning tool of where you should be shading. I don't want you guys to be afraid of it, okay? Let me move you just a little bit. So this is still my dark. And when we're talking about dark, medium, and light, we're talking in relationship to each other. So your dark on a picture may not be super, super dark, okay? Like on the scarecrow. It just means that you're in where your dark is where your shaded area is. That's all that means. Okay. Zoom out. So if you were normally coloring this is the areas that all your darker spots should be. Okay? That's what I want you to see. I'm going to add a little bit more of shading right here. Underneath my hat. Okay, now stick with me here. It's going to make sense in a minute. Okay, now I got a little bit on my hair. which is the straw. So I'm going to go ahead and just recolor that. Zoom in. Zoom in. Okay, now I'm going to come back with my medium blue. So let me go up to the top of the hat. And as you can see, you see that line right here? I'm just shading that in a little bit so you see it. I'm outlining my lighter gray area. This is my medium gray area is in this area here. Hey Dawn, welcome back. So this is my medium blue in relation to each other on the page. Again, you've got to look at the grays on your page and check them out how they relate to each other. Okay? Everybody see this gap that I'm leaving here? So my medium blue is now going over my medium gray. And notice how I'm blending the medium blue into my dark blue, okay? And now I'm going to take my light blue and come in on that portion of the hat that has the lightest color on it, because of the shade of the way that the sun is hitting it. Now, the reason that I like doing my light color last is because I can go through and blend over my medium color a little bit. And that gives me a really nice transition. Zoom out. Okay, now on the brim here, medium blue, Sandy, I'm blending it with my pencils. So I take it you're asking me really if I'm blending it with a blending pencil. It depends. It depends how the paper is acting, and it depends how the pencils that I'm using behave. Okay, medium blue over here because of the shading and the shadow. Zoom in. Sandy, the first preference for blending are using the pencils for me. And then if I have to, I use my blender pencil. Wanda, how do you handle that situation? Okay, now I'm going to come back. Let's see, got a little dark blue in here. Wanda, how do you handle merging your colors? Okay, so this is my lightest blue. I'm going over my previous blues with my lightest blue. And that helps bring everything together. Yeah, she overlaps her colors. Do you blend with a blender pencil? So in other words, you just blend with the pencils that you're coloring with. Okay, notice how I'm using my lightest blue on my medium blue to blend it in. And she says, unless it's the background, if the blending pencil is not doing what I need it to, then I use mineral spirits. Vicky says hello. Okay. Now, guys, I want you to keep in mind that the gray that is underneath your colors is coming through. All right, let's take a look at this little puppy. Zoom out. Yeah, she's telling me it's after 10. Well, she's actually downstairs, Rhonda, and she won't start bugging me for treats until I say my good night comments to you guys. That's what she's come to learn. Okay, now I'm going to come back with my medium pencil. And I'm going to soften these edges right here around the flower. And I am deliberately streaking the hat with my medium blue. Zoom in. Because I want some extra creases in there. Let me get my direct light off of this so you can see it. There we go. So anywhere that you have harsh edges, this is where you want to blend them. Again, I like to blend with my lightest color, but you decide what you like to do. Now this streak right here is looking very harsh, so that definitely has to be blended. So I'm going back with my medium pencil and I'm softening those edges. And that makes it look like there's a crease in the hat. And I'm also softening the edge between my medium and my light color. Everybody see that? And I'm using my medium color to do that. And then where my dark color is, I'm pulling that in a little bit, and I'm coming in very, very light to give that gradation between the darkest part and then the lighter part. Everybody see that? You want everything to look soft, okay? Medium color right here, softening that edge. And again, I am choosing to streak this a little bit with the shading because I want this hat to look creased. Artist did not put that in, I'm putting it in. Zoom out. Okay. Anybody have any questions or comments so far? Now keep in mind I haven't done any of my shading on the face. That's just my base color. Up on the edge of this cap, I don't like that harsh line with my darkest color on the very edge. Zoom in. So I'm going to go ahead and take my darkest pencil and start bringing that line in. Rhonda, do you see how I'm doing that? You guys remember when I was coloring mushrooms for you and I was doing this very same thing? You absolutely do not want any single lines on this stuff. Made a little oopsie right there and there. There we go. Zoom out. So the whole idea of grayscale, guys, is you want your colors to merge in with each other And this is where I like to come back and blend them in a little bit. So I'm using my medium blue right now just to play with the hat. And then if you want to, watch this. Whoop, as I drop my pencil. So if you want to add just a little bit of white right here for more of a highlight, you can. And then I'm just smoothing it in with my finger. There you go. Now again, it looks really wonky because we've got a weird colored face that I haven't detailed yet with this hat. Harriet, no, different ones. The three blues that I'm using are Zenicolor for my medium, the Brett Funner for my darkest color, and Brett Funner for my lightest. So I happen to go by color that I like versus brand. And then you want to make sure that this is really smooth, guys. See how that looks cool with this hat? Zoom out. Zoom out. Alright, let me take you a little further distance so you can see. And guys, what I want to impress upon you is this. Once you get your colors down, if you start to tweak it a little bit for your shading and stuff, that's fine. It's a combination of following the grayscale and using your judgment on what you want a little bit darker or curved a little bit more, or whatever the case may be. For example, watch this. See this little crease right here? I'm taking my darkest pencil and I'm going back and forth on it, on that one spot, because I want that crease to really show up. See how I've added that and embellished it? Okay, Harriet, you said I struggle with brand because I don't get it smooth. What do you mean by that, sweetie? Wanda, do you ever use a blending pencil on your grayscale? Harriet, how do you mean you struggle very rarely? Okay, yeah. And I get asked that question all the time, guys. You don't want to use a blender pencil on your grayscale. It is way too harsh. Okay, Harriet, are you spraying your pages with your Krylon fixative before you do your coloring? What do you guys think the way I've done the hat so far? Still not 100% happy with this area right next to the flower. What is that? Okay, that's what I thought. Okay, Harriet, zoom out. Hi, Linda. Zoom out. Okay, this is Krylon Workable Fixative. And what I do is I pre-spray the page with this fixative, and it helps the tooth of the paper, and it says it protects pencil, pastel, and chalk drawings, prevents smudging and wrinkling, allows easy rework, and acid-free archival save. So what I do is I pre-spray the page. I don't think Wanda pre-sprays hers. Boy, that's hard to say. Wanda, do you pre-spray your pages? Oh, Linda, I'm sorry you're not feeling well. And this Workable Fixative, it's got the number 1306 on it. Yes, ma'am, you do it before I color. You do not want glossy. You can either get matte or clear. Now, the stuff I buy always has the 1306 on it. And then what I do, Harriet, yeah, Wanda says Walmart's got it. Okay, Linda is new. Never heard of it? Yep. You want your Workable Fixative. And then, Harriet and Linda, I spray it when I am completely done. Sandy says Hobby Lobby has it as well. I usually buy mine off Amazon. You can check if they have it. For the new people, we have what's called an affiliate list at the top of the page. If you click on that link and purchase off that list, we get a few pennies from each thing. Yes, ma'am, Harriet says, so spray before and after. Yep. So my medium, where I had all that stuff that I put on it, I sprayed it up. And this page, before I started coloring, I sprayed. And Rhonda says that she also is using white pencil lightly to blend. Yeah, you can do that. But yes, Harriet, spray before and after. Before conditions the paper, afterward protects it. So if you use chalk pastel or eyeshadow, it keeps all that stuff from rubbing off. Anybody have any questions about that? Wanda, do you pre-spray your pages with the Krylon before you do grayscale? I don't think Wanda pre-sprays her pages. She's happy not to. That's fine. That works. Yeah, she does not. I do. So Wanda, out of curiosity, how come you don't spray? Okay, and she prints everything on cardstock. Yeah, even if I print on cardstock, I go ahead and I still spray. Harriet, yes, you can spray on non-grayscale. Linda, yes, I do have a list of things that a newbie should get, or that I feel are basic coloring essentials. So what you need to do, ladies, yeah, Wanda says she gets a great surface and a wonderful finish using her cardstock. So Harriet and Linda, go to the top of the group and you will see a bunch of red hearts that say affiliate list. Click on that link and it'll take you to a list of all the items that are on our affiliate list. I add to it as people want things added. And there are items there that have a red heart by them, and those are the basics that I recommend for colorists. So again, just go to the top of the list in the group, click on where it says affiliate list, where the hearts are, and that'll take you to the list. Linda, you're welcome. And all the things I recommend, like I said, have a little red heart by them. Zoom out. Okay guys, I think I'm done for the evening. I ran a little bit longer because I had so much trouble staying on tonight. Anybody have any questions before I pop off? And new people, do not hesitate to ask questions. That's why I'm live, and this is why the group is here. In addition to the fact that I do ask you if you guys know anybody, even if they don't color, if they're alone and isolated, please invite them to the group so they can just watch and listen to us chat and talk and have fun. Okay guys, oh yes, and please, please, please share this broadcast to your timeline. Thank you, Rhonda. Just click on share in the lower right hand corner if you would. Love you guys, take care. Alright guys, this is ILene Vick for Teaching Adult Coloring with ILene Vick. Thank you so much, enjoyed your company. Guys, joyous, joyous coloring. And guys, keep being nice, kind to each other. Harriet, you're welcome. Barbara, hi. I'm just going off air, sweetie. Please come on tomorrow night, so I will see everybody tomorrow night, same time, same place. Love you guys. See you tomorrow. Bye.